Hello world, today we're working on a Honda Odyssey with the 3.5 and we are going to go ahead and replace the starter. So first disconnect the negative ground cable, then disconnect the positive. This is going to be 10 millimeter. Now this particular vehicle doesn't seem to have the battery bracket or cover, so that's already out of the way. Some of you should have that. Now on this vehicle it's easily accessible, so that makes it nice and easy. I'm going to start off by removing the 12 millimeter nut right there. So that goes to the charge harness, battery positive cable. That took a little while to get off. Alright, so move that out of the way. And here is our signal wire. If it doesn't come off, you can use some needle nose. Just be careful when you pull, because you don't want to damage it. Boom, there, it's off. Easy. Then you're gonna go ahead and use a 17 millimeter. You're gonna go ahead and use a 17 millimeter. So I broke that one loose. There's really only 2 bolts, so as long as you have the proper extension, it should not be too hard. Now this long bolt right here, I usually take it off just because there's a bracket that's connected to the engine harness, and it's easier to just take this off than to try to disconnect the plastic harness from the little metal bracket. The spacing is just odd, so yes, this takes a little bit more effort, but it makes it easier, you know, in trying to keep stuff as intact as possible. See right there, it moves and, you know, it comes out. So now that harness is free, and also I forgot to mention, it opens up spacing for you to get this in there and get that bolt loose. I guess I should have started off with that and said that that's the main reason, you know, you'll get that free spacing right there. Free real estate, as I call it sometimes. So, like I said, 2 bolts, one lower, one upper. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a little help with my little electric ratchet. I have to be careful so it doesn't get stuck right there. Same with the lower. It's a pretty quick job with the ratchet. When you're doing it by hand, yeah, it takes a little bit longer. Alright, bolt, it's time for you to come on out. There's one. So the bottom one is going to be the longer one, and the top one is going to be your shorter bolt. So once I get this guy out, I can show you pretty much what it looks like, or at least the length of it. See, that one's pretty short. This bottom one is the long one, so can't really get them confused. Very straightforward. Just the bottom one you can't see, so it's a little bit more tedious. But boom, see, long guy. Now you can get this guy out. Gonna have to wiggle it a little bit. But yeah, there's that spot for the small long bolt. See, right there. I always do it like that. You don't have to, but that's just my way of doing things. So it makes my life easier. Alright, so ta-da, here comes our new guy. Let's wiggle that guy in there. I did go ahead and remove that long 8mm bolt from the new one so I could reuse the other one. but I might switch it out for that new one. We'll see. We'll see right now. I just need to wiggle it in here. So when you're sitting it, make sure it sits flush, and you can use at least one bolt to kind of guide it and hold it in place. Definitely do not, you know, torque one down and then the other. Just do one to hold it for you. Put in the other bolt, and you'll be squared away. So see, now that holds it in there for me, so I can get this guy. And always thread it in by hand, no power tools in the beginning. Once you have them in there, then you could start and use some help here. So once again, I am gonna have it go down, but not super tight. Still wanna hand tighten it at the end once I know that the starter's sitting properly. And it will have this lip or edge, and it'll tell you that the starter is sitting correctly. Alright, what else do we need? Here we go. Sorry, that took a second. See, now that we got that in there, boom, that's one. And once again, that's two. So this one is my longer ratchet, so get everything, helps me get everything on there nice and tight. Here's our main signal wire. Make sure that's in there real good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put that long bolt back inside the hole. Yeah, see that long one? There's one at the bottom as well. Not a big deal, but it does hold stuff, so you do want to put it back in there. Uh-oh, I can't find what I need. Oh, just kidding. Here we go. Alright, so tighten that booger up. And moving on to our main wire. Boom. So with this nut that goes on here, obviously make sure it's not crazy tight, but make sure that it is on there properly. Because what I've seen is that over time it loosens up. As it loosens up, it begins to spark. And then, how would I explain it? It just messes up that primary connection point. I wish I had a picture to show you, but I don't know where I have it, but I have seen it. When I changed one out, it was loose, and so it created a bit of a weld, but it also created a gap, and it just messed that solenoid up. So make sure that rubber cover is on there. Now here comes the battery. If you do have a battery bracket that's going to hold it in there properly, make sure to put it on. I usually start positive and then negative. Get that on there. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. 2 bolts, 1 nut, 1 signal wire. All you really need is your 10mm, 12mm, and a 17mm with extensions. Yeah, thanks for watching.